Have you ever felt like you were doing everything right? Eating cleaner, trying to walk more, cutting back on sugar, and yet your belly fat just would not move? What if the real problem was not only what you were eating, but what your body was going through every night? Because sleep deprivation does not just make you tired. It changes how hungry you feel, how your body handles blood sugar, how stressed your system becomes, and where fat is more likely to build up. And yes, one of the places that gets hit the hardest is your belly. Today, I'm going to show you what sleep deprivation really does to belly fat. Not with guilt, not with vague advice, but with the actual biology. We'll break down the 4 biggest ways poor sleep pushes your body toward belly fat gain, including the hidden reason people crave carbs at night, why your body becomes worse at handling glucose, and why even short sleep loss can shift fat toward the abdomen. So if your belly fat feels stubborn, this video may explain why. Let's start with the first mechanism, insulin sensitivity. When you eat carbohydrates, your blood sugar rises. Insulin helps move that glucose out of the bloodstream and into your cells. But when sleep is cut short, your body can become less responsive to insulin. That means the same meal can create a bigger metabolic problem than it normally would. You wake up after bad sleep, you eat the same breakfast, but your body handles it less efficiently. And when that happens over and over again, your metabolism starts drifting in the wrong direction. That is one reason sleep loss can quietly make belly fat harder to lose. The second mechanism is appetite. After poor sleep, many people do not just feel tired, they feel strangely snacky. And that's not simply a willpower problem. When you don't sleep enough, the signals related to hunger and fullness can become disrupted. You feel less satisfied, you get hungry sooner, and your brain starts looking for quick energy. That's why after a bad night of sleep, you usually don't crave grilled fish and vegetables. You want chips, toast, cookies, something fast, something rewarding. Your brain is looking for relief. And unfortunately, that often leads to extra calories, especially later in the day, when your energy is low and your self-control is already worn down. Now let's talk about the third mechanism, stress biology. When your sleep is disrupted, your stress system can become more active. You may feel tired but not relaxed, exhausted but wired. And that matters because chronic stress signaling creates a body environment that is more favorable for abdominal fat gain. In simple terms, stress doesn't just change how you feel, it can change how your body behaves. And one of the places where that imbalance often shows up is the belly. So poor sleep doesn't only make you groggy, it pushes your body into a more stressed, more vulnerable, more belly fat friendly state. The fourth mechanism is behavior, but it's still biology. When you're sleep deprived, your brain becomes worse at self-regulation. You're less patient, less motivated, more impulsive. The well-rested version of you might say, "I'll go for a walk. I'll eat something balanced. I'll skip the late-night snack." But the tired version of you says, "I'm exhausted. I'll deal with it tomorrow. I just want something easy." And that's how belly fat often builds, not from one giant mistake, but from many small, repeated, biologically nudged decisions. Now, here's the part that makes belly fat especially frustrating. Not all fat behaves the same way. The deeper fat around the abdomen, often called visceral fat, is more metabolically active and more strongly linked to health risk. That's why someone can say, "I didn't gain that much weight, but my stomach changed a lot." And that feeling is often real, because sleep loss creates the exact conditions that help abdominal fat accumulate. Worse glucose handling, more cravings, more snacking, more stress, and lower quality decisions. So yes, the scale may not tell the whole story. Your waistline may be telling it first. Now for the good news. You don't need perfect sleep to start helping your metabolism, but you do need to stop treating sleep like an optional extra. If your goal is losing belly fat, sleep is not a bonus habit. It's part of the fat loss system. So what should you do? First, protect your sleep opportunity. Give yourself enough time in bed consistently. Second, keep your wake-up time as stable as possible. A stable wake time helps anchor your body clock. Third, reduce bright light and stimulation late at night. Too much scrolling, too much work, too much stimulation right before bed can keep your brain too alert. Fourth, don't let one bad night turn into a full day of sugar-driven damage. After a poor night of sleep, try to control the fallout early. Get daylight, eat enough protein early in the day, and walk after meals if you can. Even a short walk can help your body handle glucose better. And if you've had a rough week of sleep, here's a simple 3-day reset. Wake up at the same time each morning. Get outside within the first hour if possible. Eat enough protein early in the day. Don't skip meals and then binge at night. Walk for 10 to 15 minutes after your biggest meals. Keep caffeine earlier. Keep dinner reasonable, and protect the last hour before bed. You're not trying to be perfect, you're trying to stop the chain reaction. Because that's what poor sleep really does. It starts a chain reaction that makes belly fat harder to lose. So if your belly fat feels stubborn, don't only ask, what should I eat less of? Also ask, what is my sleep doing to my metabolism every single night? Because sleep deprivation changes hunger, blood sugar control, stress signaling, and decision-making, and all of that can quietly push fat toward your waist. Fixing your sleep won't erase belly fat overnight, but without better sleep, fat loss is often harder than it needs to be. If this video helped you understand the real biology behind stubborn belly fat, subscribe. And in the next video, I'll show you what poor blood sugar control does to hunger, cravings, and abdominal fat over the course of a single day.